Good evening, YouTube. Before we get into a maraude of spoilers, Gudo here, aka Troy, but I go by Gudo. I want to make sure I don't forget to introduce myself, because we realized I never did that in any of our videos. We just assume you know the ball guy. Um, no.
You just didn't need to do it. Everyone knows who you are, right?
They know me by the shiny beacon of light. We have a cool little video we're going to throw up real quick. We wanted to go through some of these crazy spoils that dropped on Wednesday last week. FFG decided that we would just get, I don't know, 20 some odd spoils. So now we got to go back and do homework, and I just got back from a family trip. So it's like the last thing I want to do. But not really, because I love recording.
There's a lot of goodies this time around.
I'm just on the tail end of a trip, and I was actually at a wedding yesterday, so you know how those go. But we'll talk about some of these cool cards that were shown to us, go through some of the ups and downs and maybe some of these cards being played, and see if they're actually playable. I think it'd be really interesting to see what we get. So going through some of these cards, what do you think of the first couple of aggression cards spoiled? We'll go through each one. So, System Shock, defeat a non-leader upgrade attached to a unit. If you do, deal 1 damage to a unit. I find it to maybe go in, I guess that could be like a really good, maybe a Mace Windu card, or just anything that's working with damage.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, it's already power failure or confiscate, so I kind of see this as more of a limited card. But you know, you could put it in a premier deck because you get that 1 damage, and like with Mace, it could synergize. But overall, you know, it's like it's competing against other cards.
Defeat a non-leader upgrade attached to a unit. So you're able to do that because the period is there, so that tells me I could utilize that first part of the card. It's kind of like Confiscate. So it's like 3 more copies of Confiscate in a red deck. Isn't that like the way you would see it, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go wider with your defeat upgrade abilities, then yeah, you could do that.
That might be a little excessive.
Yeah. Like, you know, you have to put your own cards in the deck. You have to worry about building card state. So,
Twin laser turret attached to a vehicle unit. Attached unit gains on attack deal 1 damage to each of up to 2 units in this arena. So for 2 cost, you can buff something by 2, and then it has a baby T-move overwhelming barrage built into it, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It's, you know, it's a card.
Yeah.
Again, probably more limited play than anything.
Von Reg's TIE Interceptor looks interesting. It's got the Force Order Vehicle Fighter tags. While this unit has 4 or more power, it gains Overwhelm. While this unit has 6 or more power, it gains Raid 1. So, and I think,
yeah, it can become a threat. I think probably of all the cards on this page, that one's probably the most interesting.
Because all you got to do is put a pilot on it.
Yeah, and then you start going down.
And you're swinging for Overwhelm. So interesting 3 cost too. It's got like above stats on the booty part of it, at least for 3 cost.
Yeah, and then ideally playing this, you know, on resource turn 3, and then next turn you're putting Von Reg on it.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me of the
later.
No doubt, and this kind of reminds me of the stats of that other aggression villainy ship that readies after you kill upgraded unit.
The Jump Master.
A lot of boss players play it.
Yeah, I think that's the Jump Master one.
I'm not sure. think it's from set 1 or set 2. Let's see what else we got. Quick, we'll try to run through some of these early cards to get to the juiciness. Pilot, and then you could play it as a 3/1 for 2. Interesting. We have plenty of red cost 3/1 or 5/2, like the droid. The droid that's a 5/2, and then there's another. You have the stormtroopers that are 3/1. So actually for 1 cost. So this is kind of just like it's got great piloting stats. So
And it does have the resistance keyword, which there is a lot of good synergy going on with resistance for this set. So
okay,
that's probably the best. Well, I mean, +3 is pretty good, but I
yeah,
think the resistance tag is really the best thing he's got going for him.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, three attack for 2 is pretty good, and then maybe you're in wedge and you're playing this for even cheaper. So I don't know.
Playing for 1.
Yeah. ATDP Occupier. This unit costs 1 less to play for each damaged ground unit. And that's every ground unit. So I mean, for 4, maybe there's a way like early game you're able to put this out like, I don't know, maybe 1 turn earlier. I don't think it's a card. I think it's just bulk fodder.
Yeah.
It has the Imperial tag, so maybe there's a world where you're like buffing this with Tarkin or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that or Veers will.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's with that 4 toughness, like even if you do cheat it out, it's probably not going to be hanging around much longer.
Yeah, no, not when we have cards that are coming out with better stats for cheaper. Rebellious Hammerhead. When played, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of cards in your hand. That's pretty spicy. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You're probably gonna maybe at most like maybe 4 damage off that, but
Yeah, I guess it's not that crazy.
but maybe there is something that like you've whittled its toughness down, or there's just like something else out there and you just want to get rid of it. Once you do play it, you've got a 5/7, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, those are pretty good stats right there too. War Juggernaut. This unit gets +1 attack for each damaged unit. 1 play, deal 1 damage to each of any number of units.
Yeah, so this could be friendly units, enemy units, space units, ground units. So you could. It also depends on how wide have both of you, you and your opponent gone, that you can actually ping all these different things. But there's some promise there.
Yeah. Maybe something like Mace Windu or I don't know. Some of these ping decks. Pantaran Starship Thief. When played, you may pay 1. Is it 1 or 3?
It's hard to tell some of these low resolution pictures.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
3.
3 just because it sounds like a 3.
If you do attach this unit as an upgrade to a fighter or transport unit without a pilot on it, take control of that unit. Oh.
So I really like this card. This is like traitorous body.
Yeah, this is like traitorous, but it's good. Well, it's a good cost.
Traitorous itself is good. It's just
traitorous is good.
It could be a 2/2, or if you do 0. But I do like this card. I think it's pretty cool.
And you got Clone Pilot, just more pilot stuff. 2 cost, 2/2.
Yeah.
Timely reinforcement. So choose an opponent for every 2 resources they control. Create an X-wing token and give it Sentinel for this phase. Whoa, that could turn around a game.
Yeah, I'm seeing this as really like, I've played a lot of Han 1 green games where I'm trying to do a U-wing and I'm trying to grab like, trying to protect the ground and space. So kind of like a Hail Mary kind of play like this. Could could be pretty good, especially in the late game. When you're like 10 or 12 resources.
Yeah, it's where for 7 you're hoping to get a Sentinel, but for 5 you can almost guarantee a Sentinel. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah, it won't help you on the ground, but yeah.
Most of the time you're doing it for a Bright Hope. Most of the
Mhm.
time I feel like it's either for a Bright Hope, obviously, or Echo Base, so that's pretty cool that you can guarantee it in space. Salvage,
Yeah.
play a vehicle unit from your discard pile, then deal 1 damage to it. Interesting.
So I really do like this card,
The 4th copy.
because I could see this with Han 1. You resource a vehicle that you're using it to ramp, then you defeat that, then you can play salvage. You'll have to pay the cost for the ship and then bring it back dinged up. But basically, like you have a little bit more control over when you're defeating your resources. Like I don't mind defeating the ship back with salvage. So I think
Interesting.
there's some potential there.
Yeah, for 0.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you pay the cost, but it kind of gives you a
Right,
4th
but
card,
yeah. So
sort of.
I don't think it's gonna be a 3 of in a deck, but maybe 2, at least like 2, I would say.
Okay. Dogfight is pretty cool. Attack with a unit, even if it's exhausted. So I swing to base, then I play Dogfight. The unit can't attack bases for this attack, but it gets to ready again, essentially.
No, it doesn't ready again. So like what you described, you could base for, like, say you're another ship out there, but you want to hit base. So you attack base, and then you can play dogfight, and then pick off that other ship. So you kind of get like 2 attacks out of one
That's
ship.
pretty cool, but it has to be a unit, so not bad.
Yeah, this is kind of reminiscent of where like you could exhaust it, or you defeat it, and then basically you can have another unit like attack, but it can't attack base. So it's kind of calling back to that. This could
Interesting.
I could see aggro running this card.
Yeah, because then you get your base damage and you're able to do a little bit control work and get some damage
Yep.
on the units.
Yep, exactly.
Eager Escort Fighter. So it's a 4/1 with ambush. It's a 3-cost command card. New Republic vehicle fighter.
Yeah, he's a
Interesting.
little kamikaze guy. Like you're not playing this guy to have him slinging in for.
No, he's killing your Falcon. That's the Falcon counter that we've
Yeah.
been needing forever.
No, we don't. That doesn't need that.
Yeah, we do.
I do believe there's a little Easter egg on the Eager Escort, and the starship pictured as an E-wing. So they've got
Oh,
that alliteration going on with it.
very cool. I love that. Adept Arc 170. It's a 3/4 restore 2 for 4. So is this just a green Razor Crest, sort of, without the hunting for the upgrade?
Um,
Pretty
yeah, I mean
much.
it's decent. I kind of want to make an arc deck with
Yeah.
the restored arc, the adept arc, and then the arc from set 3. I'm blanking on its name right now.
Republic. Or
Yeah,
Republic Arc 1 something. 170.
yeah. I think that'd be kind of cool to have like a meme like arc
Yeah.
deck.
That'd be cool for like a locals night.
Mhm.
Air superiority. If you control more space units than an opponent, aka Vader, deal 4 damage to a ground unit that an opponent could. Oh, so it gave Vader a little bit of like an open fire for 2.
Yeah. So I would say, like, if you're planning on going all space, but like ground is being an issue, like you can use that to help control ground.
Yeah,
Um,
do that into an
I mean,
overwhelming
you
barrage
should
or
be
something.
you shouldn't be all in on one lane or the other, but this card does allow you to you know play
Try to
around
hit
with
it.
that.
Try to hit it, yep. Dorsal turret is just a 1 cost attached to a vehicle. Attached unit gains when this unit deals combat damage to a unit while attacking. Defeat that unit.
So I love this card. This is like in Magic the Gathering, they had a keyword called Death Touch.
Yeah, because it
And
death touch for 1.
yeah. So you could put this on like X-Wing, the Executor, or
Yeah, no, that's so good you can set it up.
or Capital Ship, and just
You can set a
or if
trap.
they play a Devastator, yeah, they have a Devastator, a 10/10 Sentinel. Bink, dead.
I'll hit you with my my TIE fighter in my Vader deck. Ooh. Now that is so strong. Oh my god. That is amazing. That card is definitely gonna see play, like without a doubt.
Yeah,
Because all these big
if
ships are coming.
Yeah, if you're running an aggro deck and you're just this will help you, in that late game when you're trying to close out the game, but they've dropped some sort of weird sentinel.
Yep.
Like you can just kamikaze right into it and then keep slamming base.
Yep. Use that eager escort.
I mean, it really doesn't matter how. Yeah, let's see. You would have to equip it first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically, like, yeah, this is basically you're not running capital ships.
Scouting Headhunter, 2/1 Sentinel. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So just another small grunt to throw in space. That's a Sentinel. That's nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and aside from Bright Hope, especially in Villainy, like Green Villainy doesn't really have.
It's actually just in green.
Yeah, so I would think a Green Villainy deck would, but Heroism has access to it too.
Yep.
It's probably just better cards I'd rather be playing in the 2 slot than this.
Yeah, 2/1 isn't. It's not justifiable. It just gets pinged, and it's a pointless play. Now we're going over to some juiciness. It's starting to get a little better.
Starting to warm up here.
Starting to warm up. In Debt to Crimson Dawn. This card looks so annoying. When attached unit readies, exhaust it unless its controller pays 2. So it's sort of like another No Good to Me Dead, Frozen in Carbonite, In Debt to Crimson package where you could just start tempoing out some of their plays with resources. I think that's super sick.
Gonna tack you down and you're not going to do anything about it. Although with In Debt to Crimson, they can pay the 2 if they want to, or if they really want to get that damage in. But yeah, they're gonna choke on it. So yeah,
I love that. Contracted Jumpmaster is a 2/4 Sentinel for 3 in Cunning Villainy. Ooh, I'm yawning. Tired. I'm falling asleep here. We gotta push through this.
we gotta get the real spicy stuff.
We gotta get the spicy stuff so I don't fall asleep. Underworld name. Underworld tag is really cool. And then it's got vehicle transport tags, which has been relevant so far in some of the spoilers we've seen. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I will say there's 2 leaders that immediately come to make really good use out of this ship. One is Cad Bane. Because it comes to Sentinel, he really only has the Black Sun Starfighter.
And this one has a nice 4 booty.
Mm-hmm. And the other one, which I'm super excited for, is Rio. It'll be a great Rio. It comes out at 3 arena, and you've got a heroism deck like throw Blue Squadron leaders at you. You can use this to stop that and build up your that you'll be ready for your flip.
Yeah, you were cutting out there a little bit, but you were talking about Rio, right?
Yeah. Yeah, basically this will be a good, like with Rio, you definitely want to build up your space. But if your opponent is attacking all your ships, severely getting kneecapped, but this ship helps you prevent that.
Yeah, I like it. I think that'll see some play. Punch it, attack with a vehicle unit, it gets +2 for this attack. That is like a baby little surprise strike or break-in style card, so more push damage. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it'll be interesting to see if what's the right mix of like this card, surprise strike, and
Yeah.
breaking in. Uh, so that's not sure, but what is sure is Chewy.
Yeah. It's
It's
got
just
the badass art on it with Chewy, so I already love the card.
yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of the art. He kind of looks like he's like a Spirit Halloween decoration. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it looks cartoony, or like maybe like some kind of animated version of like a comic or something.
Mm-hmm.
Commence Patrol is a 1-cost terrorism cunning card. Put another card in a discard pile on the bottom of its owner's deck. If you do, create an X-Wing token. So, I mean, are you just doing this to your own deck?
I could see this being useful in two Con one. Again, you can, you're defeating a card, but then you can play commence patrol, and then you're putting it right back in your deck, and then you get an X-wing out of it. So if you want to kind of like go through recursion,
Yeah,
you could do that.
that's pretty cool.
And then offensively, you could use it like if you know your opponent is doing some kind of, you can target their thing in their discard and get it back in their deck on the bottom, and then you get an X-wing token out of it.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love these cards.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool interactions going on, and old leaders and new leaders, which is great.
Yep, no doubt. The new Razor Crest looks cool. I like the art on it. It's a Mandalorian vehicle.
Yeah.
It's a 4-cost cunning card. It's a 3/5, so it's got above curve on the stats, I guess, a little bit with having the 5 booty, but I think we've seen that before at 4-cost 3/5. But when a pilot attaches to this unit, you may return a non-leader unit that costs 2 or less, or an exhausted non-leader unit that costs 4 or less to its owner's hand. So who's using this card?
So I do like that this card kind of mirrors the Mandalorian leader, where it's like you can target it at certain HP levels.
Okay.
So you could attach the Mando unit to this. Again, this is kind of another cool tool. So I think there's some versatility with it. So we'll have to really see how it kind of plays out.
Chemo Gyla Heavy Fighter.
So is this like a Gila monster, like a heavy fight?
Yeah, I don't know if I said that right, but that sounded like I said it right. When played, deal 3 indirect damage. Exhaust each unit damage this way. Oh, Django would love this card, except each unit damage. Yeah, so all they're going to do is go base so that way you can't exhaust their unit. So I don't like that the opponent has the power to decide if you're going to be able to take advantage of the exhausting or not. So I'm not really crazy about that card.
Yeah, because typically when you give the opponent a choice, they're never going to do what you want them
like
to do,
I am your father. Sometimes they'll do it, but they'll kill the unit or take the 3 cards. But nobody wants them drawing 3 cards most of the time.
Yeah.
Rafa Martez is interesting. I like the underworld stat, and I actually really like the art on the card.
So every time I see this this artwork, it reminds me of Cruella de. So I just kind of see Cruella on this card.
She's got the gray hair going on and everything.
Yeah.
When played on attack, deal 1 damage to a friendly unit and ready a resource. I love resource cheating. Yay!
Yeah, let's do it.
That's pretty cool. And
So yeah,
so she
the
does her
fact that
own
it's on
attack
attack.
too. Oof.
Yeah.
Reminds me of something like a Dr. Pershing, where you're getting each turn you're able to use that. It's like a ticking time bomb when your unit dies. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be, the damage doesn't have to be on Rafa. So it kind
Yeah.
of reminds me
Good.
of Pershing, where you can just put it on whatever unit.
Yeah, or if you want to put her in a grit deck, it'll, like, buff up your guy
Oh,
and ready a resource, sure.
that would be hot. Maybe in a maybe like a Wookiee deck.
Yeah.
Skyway
She's
Cloud Car. It's a fringe vehicle fighter, 3 cost 3/3. Where yellow gets more great statted units. When defeated, you may return a non-leader unit with 2 or less power to its owner's hand. Pretty good.
yeah.
So it's like a baby bounce.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if put a pilot on it, like,
Yeah.
send it back, but I don't know that you're really getting a lot out of bouncing just a 2 or less power unit.
Yeah, no. Unless that unit has really good ability that's stuck to it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Krennic. Or like a, well, yeah. Exactly like Krennic. Krennic will be played in pretty much every Piet deck or Thrawn deck.
Mm-hmm.
Corporate light cruiser is pretty good. We talked about this one earlier. So it's ambushing. It's a 6 cost cunning 4/6 fringe vehicle capital ship. It's got ambush and raid 1. So you're swinging it for 5. It's essentially like a 5/6
Mm-hmm.
that you're playing at the 6 resource turn. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm loving all these ambush ships that are being introduced.
Echo Base Engineer. We are on to the Vigilant side with a couple hero cards here too. So it's a rebel. When played, you may give a shield token to a damaged vehicle unit. So maybe a unit that's getting pinged. Be interesting to drop that on. I'll drop that down to give it a shield. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'll go through some of these quickly. So Wingguard Secret Security Team. It's a 6 cost 4/4. I already don't like the stats. When this card is bad, when played, give a shield token to each of up to 2 fringe units, and it's limited to fringe. Yeah, I don't know if fringe has enough to justify playing this terribly statted card.
You have to kind of bend over backwards to get any sort of value out of this thing. I mean, it's got Sentinel, which is cool, but like, yeah.
Close the shield gate, so choose a base. Next time damage would be dealt to this with this phase, prevent that damage. That is an amazing card in a clutch scenario, but I don't really see this being like something you're including 3 of. I think it's like a situation card.
Yeah,
that is cool.
Yeah, and then the tricky thing about this is like you play this and maybe got like this huge beast of a unit and then this little baby unit. It's like, okay, well, I'm just baby unit. So you'd have to be very selective about like, maybe they only have big units out, or like they're gonna
swing something big.
Yeah, then you can prevent that. So it's situational, but it could, maybe be a 1 or 2 of.
Yeah, and it counts for stuff like planetary bombardment too. So maybe if you feel like they're going to play something like that as well, that's pretty cool. Flanking Fang Fighter is a 2/3 Mandalorian vehicle fighter. 3 cost, neutral card, so no aspect. While you control another fighter unit, this unit gains raid 2. So 4/3 for 3 is pretty good.
Yeah, if you got any Mandalorian synergy going on, this helps. This is enough that you can add to that, like with Bo or maybe even Mando.
There's a 4 cost 4/3 Sentinel in Villainy called Rogue Class Starfighter. That's pretty cool. Separatist tag, so maybe in Dooku you can play this for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. I imagine it maybe being a 3 cost 4/3 in Dooku, and then maybe in other scenarios you can also cheat it in. So that's pretty good. Silver Angel, 2-cost Vigilance Fringe Vehicle Transport. When 1 or more damage is healed from this unit, you may deal 1 damage to a space unit. So maybe like Obi-Wan Kenobi can just keep pinging things and healing the Silver Angel. Like,
yeah, this is definitely an Obi-Wan enabler.
oh yeah,
Not much else.
that's kind of busted in Obi-Wan. Cloaked Star Viper Underworld Vehicle Fighter. It's a 4-cost 3/2. Already stats aren't good. One played, give 2 shield tokens to this unit. Oh, well, it's interesting. With indirect damage being a thing, I don't know how good this is going to be. And this is in make an opening, perilous position range, so this thing would just be like...
Yeah, it's kind of like, I only have 2 toughness, please help me. you know? Where you can just play something that doesn't need this.
Yeah, not a good card in my opinion. Out the Airlock, Tactic 5-cost Vigilance. Give a unit -5/-5 for this phase. They basically just reprinted Hello There and made it more expensive. This could be better than something like Hello There because it kills tech and it kills DJ. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that is true. It's right at that. It's right at that tech DJ turn.
Well, at 5 costs, I think it's actually after that. No.
It would cost 5 to smuggle out.
Yeah, a whole turn just to stop that. It's probably worth it, but interesting.
Yeah, we'll see if this actually sees play.
Like the R2 floating in space.
Or yeah, the some sort of protocol droid. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if like people want to just straight out destroy something rather than minusing it.
Yeah, with Vanquish. Hopeful Volunteer is a 2-cost hero, 1/3 rebel pilot. Rebel tag is interesting. You can pilot it for 2, and it gives it 1 attack and then 3+ HP, which is pretty good. I think there's other things you can play that, or maybe in a wedge deck where you can play like R2 for 0 and then play this for 1. That would be pretty. That would be good.
Yeah, I think it's just competing with a lot of different stuff. I see this limited card.
That would be a fun limited card for sure. Now we got the rares. So They Hate That Ship is an aggression hero card. It's an innate for 1. An opponent creates 2 TIE Fighter tokens and readies them. Then play a vehicle unit from your hand. It costs 3 less.
Yeah, so I love this card.
That is going to be a must play in some of these decks trying to play ships.
Yeah, especially with all these heroism decks we know are going to be, seeing play. This just helps play into the game plan of what they want to be doing. And, it's like, yeah, your opponent gets 2 TIE Fighter tokens, but, do you really care?
I mean, if you're in if you're in green, then you can play a Reinforcement Walker for 5. So that'd be pretty interesting. So you can cheat out big stuff like that. That can really change the state of the game with the heals. And,
you really don't care about those extra TIE Fighters.
Yeah, like have the 2 damage. I'm healing for 3 every time I swing. Sidon Ethano is a 2-cost cunning card. Pilot 2/2 when played as a unit, you may attach this unit as an upgrade to an enemy vehicle unit without a pilot on it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so like this is kind of interesting because you can attach it onto an enemy ship, and then they can't put a pilot on it, and you're debuffing it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so this is pretty crafty.
Yeah. and Cunning's gonna love this.
Mhm.
Jam communications, look at an opponent's hand and discard an event from it. So Han Yellow gets more buffs. Oh my god. That's all I gotta say about
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I'd much
The
rather be
art on
running.
it,
Yeah, the art's pretty funny. I'd be
it
rather
looks
running
insane.
Bodhi over Jam Communications, but it's another card in the toolbox.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt for the cost, you're getting a unit and you're getting a discard of an event. This could
Mhm.
just I mean, for one cost, it's not bad, The new L3 is pretty cool. So he's a 3 cost hero
She.
vigilance card. Get out of my seat. 3/3. If this does it say he?
No, L3 is a she.
L3 is a she. She. Sorry about that. If this unit would be defeated, you may instead attach her as an upgrade to a friendly vehicle unit without a pilot on it. She is no longer a unit. Defeat all upgrades on her, remove all damage from her. Oh.
Yeah, so essentially, what's very cool about this is the character dies, becomes part of the Falcon. So I love the synergy, of the
Mm-hmm.
card, the movie character,
Yeah.
and it's great because you just slam her on the ground, swing recklessly, and then when it dies, attaches to a ship, and she gets to keep fighting.
Yeah, this card is going to be busted. And is definitely going to see play without a doubt. It's also an underworld tag, which is super, super sick.
Yeah, which vigilance heroism. I'm
I think it's the
scratching my head
first
trying to figure if you
underworld.
have any underworld cards in that color combo.
Yeah, really cool. New Luke Skywalker unit revealed.
Yeah.
He's a 2 cost command hero, 3/2 on the ground. You can pilot him for 3, and if this upgrade would be defeated, you may instead move him to the ground arena as a unit and exhaust him. This card's broken.
Yeah.
This
And
card is
again,
ridiculous.
yeah, the thematics on this are also very hand in hand. In
Yep.
Empire, when Snowspeeder gets shot down, now he's on the ground and he's exhausted. So I love that about it. Yeah, this is just like an auto include in any green heroism deck um, that's doing vehicles.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to see Luke Skywalker in these games. I'm actually considering playing more aggro decks going into this set. So, we'll see
There's,
what I end up
there's a lot.
picking up for Atlanta. But I'm having a little bit of a deck identity crisis. So,
Yeah, I think the trouble is there's so many great possibilities that you like figure which leader is kind of better suited to my playstyle than the others.
yep,
Um, yeah, there's a curse of having too many choices.
you gotta love it. Um, so Lake Country, it's a 34-point base in Naboo. The art looks nice.
Mhm.
And so you only get 2 aspects in your deck, so you're
Yeah.
forfeiting having a third aspect. Um, so I see a lot of Hera, maybe a lot of Nalase type decks that are not caring about aspect because they're kind of aspect cheating anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is a very interesting. The fact that it's like neutral and a third. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see if people are embracing this. Like, oh, I don't really need that third color. I'd rather just take the +4 HP.
Yeah, hard to justify paying extra for anything. I mean, I can see you're limiting your card pool options quite a bit. Um, but hey, I mean, well, someone's gonna pull it off.
Yeah.
Legendaries got spoiled as well, so We'll start on the left. So Scramble Fighters, it's a 7 cost command villainy card. Create 8 TIE Fighter tokens and ready them. They can't attack bases for this phase. So, I am not that high on this card because at the 7 resource turn, what are 8 TIE Fighters going to do for you? It's a lot of actions that you'll need. I mean, there's got to be someone's got to figure this one out.
I think this is going to be a include for Vader leader, the new Vader leader. You know, because if you're running Victor leader, then 2/2s, and basically, you know, they can just kind of like swarm around and just feed off all these, you know, problem vehicle or problem spaceships up in, you know, space.
Yeah.
I like this. I think it's cool. The only complaint I have is I think the card should be called "There's Too Many of Them," which is said Return of the Jedi by one of the A-wing pilots, I believe. Like, you know, there's all these fighters, coming at them. There's too many of them. That's my take.
You're the lore guy for sure.
I've seen these movies, I don't know how many times.
I'm still getting there. Shadowcaster is a legendary. It's a 6 cost aggression card. It's a 4/7, so it's got really nice stats. Underworld vehicle transport. When a friendly unit is defeated, you may use all of its when defeated abilities again. So I asked somebody, and this doesn't trigger Thrawn.
Okay.
It specifically, the card needs to say when defeated. So I don't think this would trigger Thrawn, and I think that's what somebody said in the Discord. But I think it's an alright card. I mean, you could play it in a Thrawn deck. I mean, there's I don't think there's anything stopping you from playing in a Thrawn deck if it is able to trigger. I mean, I think reading it, it's already building in Thrawn's ability in the card itself. It's just like you're triggering something twice, so it is doing it for you. So it could go in Thrawn.
Yeah, I think this would be in a build around deck, which you know, is Thrawn. Outside of that, I don't know.
Yeah, 6 costs. You're probably playing a Ruthless Raider instead.
Now this does work with Ruthless Raiders if you want to play both of them, but I would see this as a build around card.
Yep. The new Darth Vader unit is pretty good. He's a 6 cost aggression villainy, 7/7. You can pilot him for 3. Attached unit gains on attack. You may deal 1 damage to a unit. If a unit is defeated this way, you may deal 1 damage to a unit or base. So that's pretty good. The 3 cost 3/3 is essentially, to me, I just see it as a Jedi lightsaber in space or ground, depending on the vehicle. So it's just like another 3 cost 3/3 upgrade. Otherwise, he's a 7/7, and maybe you can ECL him out in a green deck. So that's not that bad. Considering people are paying 7 and ambushing out a 6/6 Han Solo.
I do like that the card kind of mimics Vader leader with the ping damage that he can do. I could see this as, like, you know, you're dropping him on some fighter as a pilot, you know, getting as much damage as however he dies, and then use like Palp's Return to like recur him and bring him back.
That would be awesome. Annihilator looks insane. Oh, I skipped a page. So for 11, and people are already saying, hey, you're probably playing this in Piet or Thrawn. For 11, you get the 12/12 capital ship. It's an Imperial vehicle. When played and when defeated, you may defeat an enemy unit. If you do, search its controller's deck and hand for each card with that unit's name and discard them. So this, I really want to love this freaking card.
I really do like the ability, because you can go and pick off all their Vulture droids that they've got 15 copies of.
Oh my god!
You can take out their Salacious Crumbs, but the hang up is at 11 or
they've already got
this is a late game card. Like, do you really need to be doing that late in the game? Like,
no.
You're just trying to like close out the game, not like whittle down their deck.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going late game and there's a card that is super late game that has been really a thorn in some plans' decks. Like, I think of Boss Blue, and I think of cards like Restock, maybe when I'm in a mirror match. And if you're able to like use this to get rid of like their restocks, their extra vigilance. Maybe this is a thorn in that plan of a mirror match and control where like this just shuts down that strategy altogether because you can remove those cards to stop you from locking the game out or whatever. So that's one example. Maybe like just some of these late game decks that will go the distance, and then you're actually more than we think. I think we do end up getting to 10, 11, 12 resources. Some people say that doesn't happen, but like it happens.
Yeah. I think it's just a question of like, is this ability something that you
can depend on
at that point in the game? Which maybe you do. Now I'm thinking about it, it's like you do get to look through the deck for two different cards because when played and then when defeated. However, the hang up is you have to defeat one of your guys. So, like, let's say you do jam this down. Now they're kind of like onto you, like, okay, if I kill the Annihilator, I kill one, unit so that he can't do this thing. But then again, like, we're in the late game. Do we really need to be doing all that?
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. Some of the capital ships they've been showing are pretty ridiculous. So this one and the other one that's a 12/12. What's it called? The green villainy one.
The Executor.
Both are cards that are like, how are we going to get this to play? Now, if you could play this for 9, or what is it, 8? No, you can play it for 8. If you're in a Piet deck using Krennic, and Piet is out, but like, okay, is Piet still alive on the 8 resource turn? Probably not. He's probably already.
Yeah, here's the big brain play. Play Galactic Ambition, and then ping your base for 11 damage, and then bring this thing out. Maybe that's
now that would be ridiculous. At least you're guaranteeing playing it. It'd be for 8, right? Yeah.
How much does Galactic Ambition
It would still be 8, but you have to play Galactic Ambition, and you have to play what's the other card?
Well, no, you could just.
Oh, you just play it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You damage your base.
That would just be ridiculous. Like, why would you do that? All right, let's move on. A Major Von Reg. He's because
you're running the country in as a neutral base.
Yeah. Major Von Reg. He deploys on 4. He's a 2/5 aggression villainy card or leader. Attached unit is a leader unit. It gains on attack. You may give another unit in this arena +1 for the phase. That's his deployed side, but his normal leader side is action, play a vehicle unit from your hand. If you do, give another unit +1 for the phase. That seems pretty cool. Like, you're not having to pay anything, so you're just buffing things. But and he deploys on 4, so maybe he's keeping up with some of these newer 4 deploy leaders. Like, Kazuto's been really fun. We played some games, and I was able to... Wait, did we play? I think we did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to sneak a few too, and I thought he was a pretty good leader. And this one I think is going to be good as well.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I mean, the fact that he's is promising.
Yeah.
Um, and he also has the first order tag, which definitely gets some loving in the set. So
Mm-hmm.
he that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see what he can do coming out of the gate. I'd be a little scared going up against something like this. I'll be honest. Um, Interesting leader. We'll see if he pans out to be any good.
Mhm.
And now we got Mr. Controversy. The 2 cost, no aspect card, Death Star plan. So when attached unit is attacked, the attacking player takes control of this upgrade and attaches it to a unit they control. Attached unit gains. The first unit you play each round costs 2 less. This card is insane.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a fight for keeping this upgrade, um, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah. I've heard this card being referred to as, so it just keeps getting passed around. And it's not unique, so you could be running 3 copies of
Yep, you
so
can
we
run.
have all these plans just
You
getting
can,
juggled back and forth.
yeah. Imagine playing or paying 6 less to play a unit. That'd be insane. And
Yeah.
to be able to stick that would be interesting. Like if you can actually pull that off consistently, that would be pretty damn cool. Yeah. So we'll see like the rulings on the card. I think for the most part, I mean, because if the unit dies and the upgrade goes into the discard, right?
Um, when the unit's attacked, the player gets control of it.
So even if
So
the
before,
unit dies, this never leaves play.
yeah, you would have to like confiscate it to
Okay.
like get rid of it. But you're not gonna get rid of it through combat.
I love the freaking art on this card with Vader in
Oh
the
yeah.
background. Look at this
I mean, you can
guy's
just see the
face.
desperation in that trooper's face. He's like, "Take this!" The whole rebellion depends on this disc,
Oh
and
my god.
Vader's just kind of chilling in the background, like, "I'll wait."
Yeah, this is really cool. I love these
Yeah.
cards. This has been really cool going over this, and checking out some of these spoils. But yeah. Honestly, any last thoughts? Honestly, the only thing I'm gonna say is, I can't wait to build my Thrawn green deck and start putting in some of these new cards that have been spoiled, because some of the early iterations of the decks we've been playing, I feel like are already having drastic additions added that
Oh yeah.
we haven't even looked at yet. So I'm like, Atlanta's next month, and I'm going through a crisis. I don't know what to play.
Yeah, I would have to say like that's what's most exciting. This set of new cards is that we've been, play testing these decks
Mm-hmm.
without these kind of buffs that were just shown.
Yep.
But now we do have these buffs, so like our decks will be that much. So I like all the enabling that's going with these cards,
Mm-hmm.
or the fact that like new kind of like game within a games are being created
Yeah, little mini
for playing
quests, side quests.
later. Yeah, little side games.
I think it's
So
great.
yeah, like I've been super stoked. Um, and I think we still have some. We've definitely seen all the leaders to see. So
Yeah,
yeah, like I can't crack open this game, soon enough.
yeah. No, I'm excited. Getting pre-orders ready to go, and pre-release weekend is coming up real soon. So I'll be at the midnight release at the Haven, which is one of our local game stores in Orlando. Shout out to Matt and
Yeah,
the
definitely.
Haven.
Yep,
Um,
I'll be there as well. It's gonna be
Yeah, I think a good amount of our team. I think our whole team might even be there actually. So minus our buddy Kyle, who's in Atlanta. Um, but yeah,
Yep.
man, I'm real excited to get going on pre-release and start being able to put out more content after we've actually played the cards.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Right.
Yeah,
The ethereal version.
I told myself I wouldn't do a card review for the stuff spoiled, and I mean, I wanted to do something to go over because it's so exciting to see the cards. I just couldn't help myself. So,
Yeah, these are very good cards.
especially just getting back from vacation, I was like, I gotta record. We gotta talk about these cards. So, no, I'm stoked. Well, thanks for joining me, buddy. Thanks, YouTube, for watching. Again, go to TwoToBase.com to check out some of our blogs that Sean's been working on and getting done. And hop in our Discord. Our link will be in the description. It's an open public Discord. We chat about cards. We have a whole forum section for deck lists where you're more than welcome to come in and discuss decks. And yeah, we're excited to see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.
Awesome. See you guys.
See you later.